Hey, welcome back everybody to another episode of Pilots Club. Today, as a first for this series, we won't be looking at a specific pilot, but actually a group of pilots nicknamed the Eagles. In the early days of World War II, even before America was attacked by the Japanese, a few hundred men from the United States took it upon themselves to volunteer and to help defend the spread of the German wave quickly sweeping across towards the English Channel. The Eagles were 244 Americans who flew with the 71st, 121st, and 133rd Squadrons with the RAF from 1940 to 1942. They started out flying the Brewster Buffalo before transitioning to the Hurricane and then ultimately the Spitfire. While the 71st was formed in 1940, the group didn't score its first victory until July of 1941. Claiming 3 BF-109s that day. The 121st, formed in May of 1941, followed in September with its first, a Junkers 88. And the 133rd, formed in July, claimed its first on February 5th, 1942. The trio only flew together on a mission as a whole one time, in August of that year. On the 19th, they would fly the Dieppe raid in the Spitfire MKVB, tallying 13 enemy aircraft destroyed and 14 damaged. The 121st sustained the only 2 casualties out of that 3 groups, 1 KIA and 1 POW. On July 31st, just 2 weeks prior to the raid, Edwin Dale Taylor, nicknamed Jesse, was escorting A-20 Havocs when he engaged a combination of Focke-Wulf 190s and Messerschmitt's 109s. He would be shot twice while still managing to take down 2 190s and a 109. He would ultimately safely return to base where the ground crew would go on to count 107 holes in his Spitfire. There was a rivalry between the 3 groups, mostly amongst themselves, that had gotten so bad to the point that the RAF command was concerned enough to keep the groups stationed at different airfields. When the 133rd were the first to get the Mark IV, it only added fuel to the fire. This is because the 71st considered themselves the best, and the 133rd viewed the Mark IV as a status symbol, and then the 121st was just there not taking either group's crap. This would all come to an end after the 133rd flew the Morlaix mission though. What was supposed to be an easy flight escorting B-17s to hit Focke-Wulf factories there turned into a nightmare from the get-go. A mission that should have been canceled started off with a missed rendezvous with the bombers because the bombers were early. Doubled down with heavy overcast and 35-knot winds made them miss the formation when they were trying to catch up, and they ended up low on fuel directly over Britannia. There they were getting double-teamed by flak and 190s, ultimately losing 22 of the 36 Spitfires. The 133rd accounted for 12 of those. Ultimately, in September of that year, the Eagles were transferred to the United States Army Air Force, becoming a part of the 334th, 335th, and 336th Fighter Squadrons. They would fly within these groups for the remainder of the war. If you would like to learn about the Eagle Squadron more, I put some links in the description, so feel free to go check them out for more in-depth read about the formation and history of the group. If you enjoyed this topic and would like to learn about another American who volunteered before the United States was officially in the war, go check out our episode on Billy Fisk. He was an Olympic bobsledder who claimed to be the first American to volunteer to fly for the RAF, and unfortunately would also be the first American killed in action while flying for the RAF. Thank you everybody for stopping by today, and if you have any pilots or a group that would be an interesting dive and episode, please let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for new rabbit holes to go down. I'll see y'all in the next one.